Episode 3: The Invisible Hierarchies. The sun was beginning to set over Uyo, casting long orange shadows over the rested tin roofs of the city. Uwem Bassey walked down Ikot Road, keeping his head down. He had done his best to clean up in a public bathroom near a mechanic's workshop. He had scrubbed the green slime of the spirit beast off his face and arms until his skin was raw, but the stain on his white school shirt was stubborn. He had buttoned his blazer all the way up to his neck to hide it, despite the humid, suffocating heat that wrapped around him like a wet blanket. The city was loud. The chaotic symphony of Uyo filled his ears, yellow kekenepeps honking aggressively, the shout of bus conductors calling out "Plaza, Plaza!" and the thumping bass of Afro beats blasting from a nearby barber shop. Usually, this noise gave Uwem a headache. It was just noise. But today was different.
I feel awake. For the first time in my life, I'm not just walking through a fog. I can hear the engine of that car before it turns the corner. I can smell the roasted corn from the vendor across the street. Charcoal, pear, and spices. It's so sharp.
He focused his eyes on the corn vendor, an elderly woman fanning her coal pot with a piece of cardboard. He narrowed his eyes, remembering the new skill he had unlocked.
Inspect.
A faint shimmer appeared over the woman's head. It looked like a glitch in reality, a transparent blue label floating in the dusty air. Target: human. Name: unknown. Level: 1. Threat: nil.
Level 1. That's a normal human, just like I was yesterday.
He shifted his gaze. A black SUV with tinted windows pulled up to the curb near a bank. The door opened and a man stepped out. He wore a sharp, expensive suit and gold rings glittered on his fingers. He was shouting at a security guard, his voice booming with unnecessary authority. Uwem focused.
Inspect.
Target: awakened human. Name: unknown. Level: 5. Ability: metal hardening, tier 1. Threat: moderate.
Level 5. Kai is probably around level 4 or 5. That man in the suit, if he wanted to, he could snap that security guard in half.
Uwem felt a chill that had nothing to do with the air conditioning from the bank. It was a terrifying realization. The world wasn't just divided by rich and poor anymore. It was divided by levels. Everyone was walking around with a number over their head that dictated their value. And Uwem was just a level 3. He was barely on the board. He hurried his pace, merging into the crowd. He needed to get home before his adrenaline crashed. Home, if you could call it that. Uwem turned off the main road and navigated the muddy alleyways leading to a rundown face me, I face you apartment block. The paint was peeling in long, sickly strips, and the open gutter in front was stagnant, black with mosquito larvae. Since the orphanage kicked him out at 16, this was all he could afford by doing odd jobs, washing cars, carrying blocks at construction sites on weekends. He unlocked the rusted padlock on his door and stepped inside. The room was dark and smelled of damp concrete and kerosene. A thin mattress lay on the floor in one corner. A small stove sat in the other. There was no fan, only a small window with torn netting. Uwem collapsed on the mattress. The moment his body hit the foam, the exhaustion slammed into him. His ribs ached, his knuckles were bruised. Growl. His stomach roared. It was a painful, twisting knot that cramped his insides. He hadn't eaten since breakfast, and the fight with the spirit beast had burned through his energy reserves like a wildfire. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a crumpled 200 naira note.
200 naira. That can buy gari, maybe groundnut, but not a real meal. I need protein. My body is screaming for meat. I feel like I could eat a whole cow.
He looked at the empty space in the air where the blue screen usually hovered.
System, do you have food? Do you have a shop?
Shop locked. Requires level 5. Inventory empty.
Ugh, useless. You give me hunger, but no food.
The wooden door shook violently. Dust fell from the rotting doorframe. Uwem jumped up, his heart spiking.
Uwem, I know you were in there. I saw you sneak in.
The voice was raspy and loud. It was Mr. Bassey, no relation, the landlord. A man who loved money more than he loved his own children.
2 months. You owe me 2 months. If I don't see 15,000 naira by tomorrow morning, I am throwing your rags into the gutter. You hear me? Tomorrow morning.
Footsteps stomped away, leaving a heavy silence in their wake. Uwem sank back down, putting his head in his hands.
15,000 naira. It might as well have been 15 million. I have no way to get that money. If he kicks me out, I'm on the streets. And on the streets, the gangs or the spirit beast, they will eat me alive.
The blue screen appeared, illuminating the dark room with a ghostly light. New quest available.
A quest? Does it give money?
Quest name: The Night Walker's Toll. Description: Your financial desperation has been noted. To survive in the human realm, resources are required. The system detects a high-value item hidden nearby, guarded by a superstition. Objective: Retrieve the offering bowl from the abandoned shrine at the end of Ikot Udo Street. Time: midnight. Reward: hidden. Punishment: hidden.
What? System, show me the reward. Is it money? Is it XP? And what is the punishment? Death again?
Protocol update. Fate is blind. Rewards and punishments are now hidden until quest completion. Will you accept? Yes, no.
Ikot Udo Street. I know that place. It was a dead-end street near the swamp. People didn't go there at night. Rumors said a local witch doctor used to live there, and when he died, his spirit stayed behind. If I go, I could die. The punishment could be death, or the reward could be a useless rusty knife. But if I stay here...
He looked around his miserable, dark room. He felt the hunger gnawing at his stomach like a rat. He heard the echo of the landlord's threat.
If I stay here, I'm dead anyway. I'm a level 3 awakened now. I killed a boar. I'm not a victim anymore.
Uwem clenched his fist.
I accept.
Quest accepted. Time until midnight, 4 hours. Suggestion: rest. You will need your strength. Midnight. Uwem stood at the entrance of the abandoned lot on Ikot Udo Street. The streetlights here had been broken for years. The only light came from the moon, filtering through the thick palm trees that surrounded the property like prison bars. The silence was unnatural. No crickets, no frogs, just a heavy, oppressive stillness that pressed against his ears. He activated his inspect skill, scanning the darkness. Target: unknown. Threat: detected. Where? He took a step forward into the tall grass. Crunch. He stepped on something brittle. He looked down. It wasn't a stick. It was a bone. A small, dry bone. Probably a chicken or a dog. In the center of the lot, under a massive, twisted iroka tree, sat a small mud shrine. It was covered in red cloth and white chalk markings. Sitting right in the middle of the shrine was a clay bowl. Even from here, Uwem could see a glint of something inside.
Gold? Silver? It shines like metal.
He crept forward, his heart thumping against his ribs. Strength 4, stamina 3, he reminded himself of his stats. He could run if he had to. He was 5 steps away. 4 steps. He reached out his hand toward the bowl. Suddenly, the wind stopped completely. The air turned freezing cold.